What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh, and welcome to Thorium Gaming, and we're back with Nightly Valor, our attempts to bring the light of the Lady of the Lake to the entirety of the old world. Now, before we jump into things this week, I just want to make sure that everyone had a happy and safe Halloween. I know, I definitely did. It was especially good since I was on the road for like 2 weeks before that, which is why I've missed you guys. Yeah. But Halloween was great. I hope you guys all had fun, got some candy, dressed up, all that sort of stuff. And let's just remember, no Christmas stuff up until at least November 12th, because the people that gave a pretty big sacrifice, including the ultimate sacrifice for us, deserve their day as well, even though we should be celebrating them every day. So let's wait until after Remembrance Day for all of the Christmas stuff to come up. I know you guys are excited, but come on, it's November. Wait till the 12th. Anyway, what we were doing before we had that little impromptu break, we've got Adidon and Muffin, I believe, all up north here. Muffin's going to take Pack Ice Bay, and Adidon's going to replenish his forces with a couple of units of very highly ranked Pegasus Knights to possibly take on Bjornling's Landing. Though we might let Pack Ice Bay fall first and then swing Muffin in to give him a hand. Of course, way over in Kislev, we have King Lewin, who's just recovering a little bit, and then we'll probably go after Prince Sigvald. Archaon got beaten down, so if we look at our objectives, well, he's not actually part of our objectives. We just have to complete the final errantry battle, which means 2,000 chivalry, and we're getting close. We only need 469 more chivalry, which means we need to get into a few more fights, and having the king up here will definitely lead into that. We can send him over and start attacking the Norscans from this side. Way down south, in the lands of Araby, we've got chaos going all over the place. We do have one army stack under Thraltrus attacking our Empire allies, and he's on a Chaos Dragon. It's definitely not a good thing. But we have Phoenix and Grimaldus here getting ready, and hopefully this sorcerer will come out and get into a place where we can ambush him. Well, not necessarily ambush, but take him on individually so we don't have to worry. Now, I don't really want to upgrade Kofor, and there's not really much we can do right now. And Servants of Chaos are gone. So I guess what we're going to have to do is just hand it over to the other nations and let them go. So I've also been playing Total War 3 Kingdoms, and while as a Total War game it's a lot of fun, there's some intrigue and all that sort of stuff, it doesn't really feel like a Romance of the Three Kingdoms game. There's a lot Creative Assembly could have done with it, and I don't feel that they really did. I mean, it just doesn't feel like the Three Kingdoms factions. You have officers going around, it's set during the Dongzhuo tyranny period, which, that's fine. I got a feeling they're going to release expansion DLC for it to do every one of the eras leading up. I mean, they've already got the Yellow Turbans out there, which let you play as the Yellow Turbans during the Dongzhuo era, and they should be all but wiped out, creating the King Elite for Cao Cao, or Cao Cao, depending on how you pronounce it. I prefer Cao Cao. I learned it when I was a kid to say it that way, so that's what I'm going with. Liu Bei's faction feels a little bit underwhelming in a lot of ways. The early game is really, really slow. It does pick up, but it's really, really slow. I do like the diplomacy and political system. I love the way spies and everything are done in that. But it just doesn't feel fully in-depth like a true Three Kingdoms game. It's not bad. It's definitely worth the price you'll pay for it, but don't go into it expecting something like Romance of the Three Kingdoms 9 or 10 from the PlayStation 2 era, because those games were bloody brilliant, and I absolutely love them. One of the key features there is you can't just select any random army, you have to pick a specific lord. Spick. That's not what I meant to say. Kind of an amalgamation of words there. But you can't create your own faction. You can't just start off as anything. You have to pick one of the already established ones. And certain events that do take place kinda roll plus or minus with it. And I mean, they don't have the whole forming of the anti-Dongzhuo coalition. They don't have like Sun Ke or Sun Jian, I should say, finding the Imperial Seal, then losing it again, or trading it away. They don't have, like, the battle instance where Zhao Yun goes to Liu Bei. It just kind of happens as a minor event if you defeat an army on the field of battle. And Zhao Yun should be part of one of the Han Loyalist factions until then, and he's obviously my favorite character in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So, there is that. But it's good for what it is. It's kind of a middle ground. It's still a Total War game, and you can obviously see the Total War influences all over it. And it's got a Romance of the Three Kingdoms flavor, but it's like weak tea. Yeah, you can taste it, but it's not really tea, if that makes sense. Yes, the tea reference is because it's set in China. The map is a little bit confusing too. I mean, it's detailed. It's much more detailed than Total War Warhammer is, as we're looking at it as we're going around. It's got way more in-depth detail and graphics. It's a lot prettier. But it almost seems too crowded. And there's no open spaces like what we're dealing with right here. The effects from the terrain are a lot different, and it is set in a 4 seasons setup instead of a yearly or whatever it is in Total War Warhammer. So you do have your summer, fall, winter, all that sort of stuff, and they do have effects on your characters. And there's a lot more to deal with on the individual characters, especially in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms mode. You can go with a classical mode, but I haven't tried that one yet. I've just been playing around with it for like the last day since I've had some sanity. So we'll see how it works out. On the buy, don't buy kind of scale, because I don't like arbitrary number rating systems and all that, I'd say it's worth it. It's worth it to buy it. I haven't touched the DLCs yet. I haven't heard really good things about the 8 Princes DLC set 100 years after the events of the Dong Zhuo stuff, but that's even outside of the Three Kingdoms era. Like, that's before Shu Wei and Wan actually go to battle. The one thing that does really, really, really annoy me about the entire look of the game, this is a minor nitpick, and I understand it's a minor nitpick, it doesn't really affect gameplay at all, is the fact that Cao Cao, Sun Jian, and Liu Bei don't have their primary colors set up on their flags. They don't get their color scheme sort of going until they form their coalitions. Classically, Liu Bei is green, and it's gorgeous. I think he's got the, is it the Bird of Paradise? I think it's the Bird of Paradise. You have Sun Jian, and then Sun Ke, and then Sun Quan having a red emblem with a tiger on it, and then Cao Cao with, no, it's Liu Bei with the dragon, and Cao Cao has the Bird of Paradise, and he's blue. It kind of throws it off, because those are the real feelings of the colors. They're kind of like more realistic flags, and you know, if there's one area that you should kind of roll back the realism on to make it feel more authentic towards a Romance of the Three Kingdoms game, it would be in those flags to get that feel back. It looks like the High Elves are trying to see off one of those black arcs. I know I spent the first few minutes kind of ranting about another game in the Total War franchise, but well, it's kind of stuck in my head right now because I'm enjoying playing it, and I'm enjoying having another Romance of the Three Kingdoms setting to play around with, because I really, really, really love the story. Again, it's worth a buy, but if you're going to compare it to Romance of the Three Kingdoms 9 or 10, it's definitely weaker than both of them, even though it's far, far prettier graphically. I mean, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 9 would probably be my favorite from the series so far. 10 was okay, but I didn't like the whole being restricted to just one character sort of thing. But bright side is you could create your own characters and your own factions in both those games, and it allowed you to play into or oppose the storyline events that came up. Now, the storyline events in the Total War version do come up. I mean, you still have Diao Chan being sent off to disrupt things between Lu Bu and Dong Zhuo, and you have things like Liu Biao and Tao Qian kind of allying with Liu Bei. Tao Qian abdicating it if he doesn't have an heir. If he does get an heir, then it kind of kills that part of the story. And you do have things like going and finding the sleeping dragon, Leong, and it does play off those storyline events, but they seem too sporadic, and they seem to be able to be broken, and you can't carry the actual romance of the Three Kingdoms along as a unified story as easily as you could in like the PlayStation era games. I think they went a little too overboard on the Total War side and not enough into the romance side. So who knows? Maybe it'll kind of work itself out as I play more of it. Not really too sure. And again, I've only played Liu Bei because, well, my favorite faction, and Zhao Yun is my favorite character, so it kind of fits in that I'm playing those. So we'll see how it works out. There's a second Black Arc there. I wonder what the Druki are doing. Camry down south, are they actually going? Nope, it's not an army. They're not fighting the followers of Nagash right now. I'm really interested to see what the Forces of Chaos, the lesser forces up there, are going to do. If it does sound like I'm a little bit downtrodden today, guys, well, I recorded a day early before release, and last night I had hockey and took a puck in a very unfortunate spot, and it's kind of plaguing me.
So,
We are not going to give the followers of Nagash any military access now. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of pain. I got a couple of new bruises. It wasn't really an awesome night, but I did score once, so, you know, it's a video game minus the video part. But we're all gamers, and we all play games in different ways, so... win? Of course, it's always nice to be on the ice with my brother and my father, so... don't tell them I said that. Usually they just try to hit me. But it's still lots of fun. It's a good group of guys. Play every Sunday, so... yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially after you've been on the road for a long time. Just get back and release some of that pent-up energy. The only other way to do it is to sit down and just blast into games, and it's either one of the Total War games or it's MechWarrior Online right now. Playing a lot of that too, in the few scant moments I've had between, you know, being here and being out of town. You only got like 12 hours at home, and 8 of those are spent sleeping. Yeah, it's only enough time to sit down and get, you know, a couple of games of MechWarrior Online in. Still, it's a lot of fun. I have 3 out of the 4 clan mechs that I want. I have a Cougar, a Shadowcat with the Gauss rifle configuration, and a Timberwolf Prime. Really hoping to get my Mad Cat here pretty quick. So I kind of swapped them around. Mad Cat should be heavies, not assault mechs. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. Still my iconic Mad Cat Mark II. So can't complain too much. Well, let's face it, it's me. I could complain that much, but I shouldn't complain that much. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so we know Ostrog is... well, Fort Ostrog is Skaven controlled, so maybe we send the king after that. Because we are at war with Clan Moulder, so there's not really too much to worry about there. Sometimes it's really, really hard to figure out what the other nations are planning on doing. They're a little sporadic. Let's see how it works out. Okay, these are the guys that I want to see. So what are the Puppets of Chaos going to do? It's their hero. Are they going to try and burn down the Sorcerer's Isles? And what is this guy going to do? Is he going to attack Fyrus? No, he's going to suicide into Balthazar Gelt. Okay, well that weakens them pretty well. Alright, so Lord Muffin, you are in full speed stance.
if the lady wills it.
You're going to take a little bit of attrition, but we'll sort that out shortly. And Sarfurix, we want you to stay on
Destroy the faithless.
Prince Sigvald, even though you can't really do much right now.
Of the week.
And Thibault de Bois. Let's send you down towards these Chaos guys, see if you can disrupt them a little bit. I'm not trying to upgrade anything right now, and forgot to upgrade Furix when we were up there, but he finally gets Deadly Onslaught. Alright, so King Lewin, are you fully... You are fully revved back up. Not too worried about Prince Sigvald right now. Do we have the sewer clearing? That is diplomacy, not research. Research! Do we have the sewer clearing decree? Yes, we do. So, let's send the king over to fight some Skaven. You have to deal with Morlock, but that's a lot of Skaven slaves. Some Death Runners. The heck are Death Runners? Clan Eshin, obviously. Okay, so... yeah... they're suicide rats. We'll go with that. So we've got Skaven slaves with spears. They're the real threat to our army. A couple of clan rat units. Morlock's army kind of sucks. Skaven slaves in the tabletop version are essentially the lowest possible unit you can ever have. I mean, zombies are better than them, and they're bloody zombies.
My reputation
You guys are almost healed up, so we can send you off to deal with some Chaos scum. Of course, your skills are all screwed up because of the changeovers.
Do you know who I am?
Alright, so we're gonna have to wait and see what they do there. I think we have Lord Yogi here.
My strength and wisdom are yours.
And you do not have your vow yet, do you? You're still 3 rank ups from getting your vow. Is there some enemy that we've missed that we can send you off to battle with? Not especially.
For now, yes.
But we can send you back up north towards Castle Baston. And we can send you out to fight the Norscans too. We're pretty deep into the turn numbers here, so we'll see how it works out. Let's let the other nations go, and I'll keep rambling on and on and on. See what the Empire decides to do. I mean, they've been crushing Chaos pretty consistently, which has helped us out a fair bit. I'm not really too sure how I can use that to our advantage. But we'll see how it works out. It was a weird camera readjustment. Oh, that's part of the reason why that Chaos Dragon Lord got smashed. There's Karl Franz right there. The legendary Reichsknights. And Volkmar the Grim, who's still acting as a spy director instead of the Grand Theogenist, which he should be. Where are you going? You going down towards Bjornling's camp, or Volksgrad, or what? Probably Volksgrad to make it a place where you can reinforce up there. At this point, it's going to be one of the forces of the Order of Light that wins. And there's their Supreme Patriarch. Why? But that doesn't compute too much. Why are you just stuffing an army off out of the way and not anywhere where it can be used? I mean, the Chaos Knights on the Servants of Chaos are just going to roll over the Sorcerer's Palace, or the Servants of Arcan? Wow, it's been long enough that I'm forgetting the Tomb King's factions. It's Arcan the Black and Followers of Nagash, that's what it is. And that army is probably going to roll over their secondary little village that's down south of us here. Because Tomb Kings do not stand up to Chaos unless they outnumber them heavily. Actually, Gym Kings, in my experience, will stand up to much unless they outnumber them heavily. Still better than Skaven Slaves, though, which is something we're going to go fight with the king. Assuming that the Empire and its innumerable armies and heroes ever keep pushing through. See how it works out, though. And now we're on to the Dawi. I wonder if they're actually going to go after the Wood Elves. I mean, they've been threatening around the forest of Athaloran for a while. I don't think they have any armies there right now, though. Alright, so Thogrim, where are you headed? Obviously away from the main conflict lines. Brindal, the White Dwarf himself. It's got a lot of specialist units in it. It's mostly Longbeards, but still. Oh, that's Elric Getgold. He's one of the Zufbar lords when you start the game. See if Morlock goes after him. The Warriors of Chaos are almost beaten to a pulp, so they're not really an issue. I'm gonna laugh if he goes after Kislev. Sigvald, you are the last army stag for the Warriors of Chaos. Once you get whumphed, you'll have to wait for the next Chaos invasion, which could be hundreds of years, or mere seconds, depending on how you look at it. Time flows weird in the realms of Chaos. We do need to know what Norsc is doing, because we're planning on attacking them too. I haven't... Well, their army's been coming in this way. We know that Wulfric's down because Kislev kind of whooped him. What's my obsession with the word whooped today? There's Throg, Troll King. Probably go into Norden, and then I hope Kislev goes over and whoops him. Yeah, now I'm kind of leaning into it, because, well, why not? It's more fun. If you can't laugh at yourself, you have no right to laugh at anyone else. That's the way I view things, anyway. Lothern is weaker than us? How is Lothern weaker than us? Seriously, how is Lothern weaker than us? Or, no, we're weaker than Lothern, right. Oh. Brain, catch up with the rest of us. You got it inverted. Been playing too much Three Kingdoms. Their army stacks right there outnumber us. And probably outclass us in a lot of ways, too, because I got a lot of Phoenix Guard. And Lesser Sister of Avalorn, too. Magic arrows, magic glaives. Not a lot of conversation. Sisters are stoic by nature, and the Phoenix Guard can't talk, so... It'd be a quiet camp. Be great to ambush people with it, too, though. Haggrafe is under assault as well. Wonder if they're going to be able to take out the Druki. It's pretty much, though, that Norsca is the only force of disorder that we can take on and still get chivalry towards completing our errantry war, the final errantry war. Still kind of flipping a coin as to whether or not we want to go against Chaos or the Orcs. I'm thinking Orcs, because, well, I don't want to fight any more Chaos Warriors. Because they're mean, and they're tough. And they tend to chew apart cavalry pretty good. Especially the ones with glaives. High armored, high attack. And really good morale make them freaking tough as nails to fight. But the Orcs are just as bad in a lot of ways. Black Orcs are like really big and tough too. But I think I'd rather fight the goblin supporting units rather than dragons and hell cannons. So I think we're gonna go with the orcs. Black Tower of Arcane's backing.
You tread upon Bretonian land. I'll have your will, and I'll have it.
We're not teaming up with you, Arcane the Black. We don't like you. You're undead. We serve a goddess of life and growth, so no, we're not teaming up with you. Wait, that's Arcane himself? Weird that Arcane has no units with him. Harganeth, the temple city of the executioners. Alright, Kislev. See what you do. Arkady Torsky. Are they starting to storm against the Norscans too? Because that'd be weird. Not really sure how things are going to play out for us right now, because so much left of... Ow. Kind of just poked myself with my own ring. Yeah, don't ask the physics on that, because it's kind of silly and rather stupid, so just assume that I'm an idiot, and you'll probably make out alright. I forgot where I was going with that. Alright, Clan Moulder, what are you doing? Apparently you're trying to do something to the King's army? Assault units. Couple of rat assassins sitting around us. Rat assassins? Rat assassins, we're going with that. Clan Wars and the Court of Liberus negotiated peace too. Alright, Puppets of Chaos, what are you gonna do? Just what we expected you to do. Alright, King Lewin. Getting low on time for this episode, but we can get at least the fight in for...
Smite them!
There's a siege battle. We're going to continue the siege for just a second, because it seems that all of our heroes with him kind of leveled up, so we're going to want to get the points for that. Blade Shield. And Ryan pretty much has every spell she can get, so we can work on the other stuff. So she cleanses corruption, and she's a specialist. And let's go with scouting, just because we can. This will finish off our episode right here. It's well outside of our balance of power, so... Fencer's Blades. Fort Ostrok is now back in the hands of a force of order, and we're going to get a chapel to the lady in there. Lord Muffin.
To victory!
Hopefully your troops are up to this.
Death to the enemy!
Throw the errantry banner on you, and the banner of eternal flame on one of the knights errant. Again, it's outside of our range. Close victory. We lost the flagellants, but that's okay. That gives us some place to kind of stock up in the north. Ooh, we need 5180 to put a
My
chapel little lady up there.
reputation
However, he
precedes
did
you.
level up, so we can get him Blade Master. He's getting very close to getting his Knightly Vow unlocked. Maybe not.
Lord,
Adon's getting in position to... well, in a position to take Bjornling's Landing. So, I know it's a little bit shorter, but that's probably a good place to call it for this week, guys. I know, only a couple of turns and you heard me ranting and raving about other games and everything. But if you enjoyed the video, guys, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, see yourself pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.